Hey guys, Quinn here with Valhalla Outfitters. I hope you're all doing well. Got a new box in the mail today. Thought I'd open it up with you and check it out. This is a Browning X-Bolt Mountain Pro long range. I had the X-Bolt Pro, not marked long range, not marked mountain, and you know what? I got a lemon. I got that gun like last March. I could not get the thing to group no matter what. Tried everything. Sent a scope back to Vortex. Tried a known scope. Tried a known shooter. Tried different ammunition. I'd get two that were pretty good, and then the third one would always want to be a flyer. Sent it back to Browning. Let me know that it failed QA/QC, failed the accuracy test or the inspection. And they don't make that anymore, so they were nice enough to say, well, why don't you find something else? Had I waited 10 days to pick something else, I would have got something different. The new models, they have a whole slew of models with 20-inch barrels, even some with 18-inch barrels. Since I had purchased that rifle and this whole thing unfolded, I picked up a can. And those longer barrel guns, I just don't put a can on the end of them because they're just too big and unwieldy and onerous. So I figured I'd show you the replacement I did get. I did ask Browning, hey, would you be willing to let me consider getting one of those other guns? And I have not heard back yet. Because when I was on the call with them figuring this out, I said, do you have anything with a 20-inch barrel? No, sold out, sold out, sold out. SHOT Show starts, and they immediately populate a bunch of new guns on the website, and that was literally a day after I got word that this one had shipped. But maybe this one is a keeper. Because I couldn't get the 20-inch version, I went the other direction. My previous version was 24 inches. I went up to 26 for the extra velocity on this 6.5 PRC. I think you gain about 30 FPS per inch. So you get an instruction book, you get a bolt, you get a thread protector, and it should come with the recoil hog muzzle brake. Another reason that I went with this model, and I didn't know if it could have been affecting the accuracy or not of the one that was the lemon, was that this is the heavy sporter barrel as opposed to the light sporter barrel. It does mean that the gun is 7 pounds 9 ounces or so. I think my Benelli Lupo is about 7 pounds. Previously the idea was a lightweight build, and lightweight build for me, what the previous version of this I had was 6 pounds and change. Got me in right around 8 pounds when it's loaded with the scope. So this will be about 9 pounds once that Vortex LHT 4.5 to 22 is on top of it. But for me, I'm willing to carry 9 pounds around. You get a carbon fiber stock that is, the action is glass bedded. Carbon fiber stock that is fully wrapped 360 degrees, and it is packed with a rigid foam, which makes it a very rigid stock. Packemeyer decelerator pad. You get stainless steel that is then Cerakoted, spiral fluting on the barrel, pick rail in addition to your sling stud, although I would like the QD mounts. And you get the bolt, which is also Cerakoted. That trigger actually feels pretty good. The previous example I had, the trigger was pretty heavy. I do have an M-Carbo spring that I put one in the X-Bolt Pro. I've got one to put into this, but based on that, I might not need it. The new versions of this all have an adjustable comb. That Benelli Lupo has comb inserts that you can add to change that height. With the particular cast of this gun, I didn't find that I needed one because my eye naturally lines up to where if I put low rings on here, I get a really good sight picture and a good cheek weld without it. This gun does feel a little bit heavier, and it's a little bit front heavy now because I did add 2 inches of distance on the length of that barrel, and it does currently have the recoil hog on there. I have shot the recoil hog before, and it does what it advertises. It says it can reduce felt recoil by 76%, and I believe it. It is very, very loud, I would tell you that, but this is a really good feeling gun. Everything about it is top flight. It does have a fully flush magazine, which is polymer. It's a rotary style, so all of your rounds go directly in front of the bolt when they pop up there into battery, as opposed to the offset feed where they have to kind of ramp up. This probably needs a little lubrication, but the previous version was probably as nice as my Lupo, as nice as my Tikka or Remington 700 when it comes to how slick the action is, which I like. We'll see how she does. Should be a real tack driver. I'm glad we got it sorted out. I'm glad Browning made me whole on it and made it right. Like I said, if I would have waited 10 days to make a decision, I would have had a whole bunch of other choices, and I was willing to pay up to make up the difference. But I think this is a good rifle that should serve me for years to come. Maybe I'll do a different talk on how I discovered that the rifle was off, because the vast majority of the time it's not the gun, it is something else or you, and I'll go through all the steps that we took to finally figure out that it was in fact the gun. These triggers are the DLX feather trigger. It's like a 3-lever system. They're advertised as user adjustable. There's a set screw that's right in front of that trigger guard. They are advertised to be adjustable from 3 to 5 pounds. My Lupo is set at 2 pounds, 1.8 pounds. The Timony in my Remington 700 is about the same. I like to have all my triggers about the same, except my lever gun is closer to 4 pounds. That's just what I feel that it's safe. You can only get this down to 3. So if you want to take it lower, M Carbo does make a spring kit that you can put in here. It's got a tang safety, which is a little wiggly. I don't think my old one was. Kind of rattles around, both when it's on safe and on fire. But again, do you want to send something back to the mothership for a safety that's a little wiggly? I don't know. The last example that I had that was the Lemon, that was my first experience owning a Browning rifle. I'd always kind of wanted to shoot the buck mark, so I bought one, and it was an exercise in frustration. The entire time that I owned it, it took 9 months to get it all sorted out and to get this thing back. Hopefully this thing is a better example, although it's real odd that you hear that? That this trigger, pardon me, not the trigger, that this safety is loose. But I do like a tang safety. Should be no take up, no creep on this thing. I might just leave that right where it is. So we'll take it out and shoot it. We'll get a scope mounted up, show you what it looks like, unless I hear back from Browning that I can trade this thing out for something with a 20-inch barrel. So 24 inches would get me to like here. That was the old one, right? 20 inches would get me to there. An 18-inch would really be great, because then with the 7-inch can, I'm only at 24 inches. Even a 24-inch barrel, once you put a 7-inch can on it, if you're in a deer blind and it's kind of tight quarters and you have more than one window, it's hard to get that gun around to get your appropriate shooting lane. So with this one, I won't be shooting it that much in the field anyway. This is set up to be my long distance goat gun. My West Texas gun, shooting long distances. I can live with the muzzle brake. I usually have the Walker disruptors in anyway, as opposed to the can. So I can live with the fact that it's 26 inches. I do get a little extra velocity out of it. But these products are really well made. The steel comes out of Morocco, Japan. They've been making them there for a long time. The Cerakote is a nice touch. It looks good. I can tell that the barrel is beefier than it was on the other one. That light sporter barrel contour was almost kind of felt like a pencil barrel. I think this thing's going to do the trick. we're in pretty good shape. I think that's it as far as out of the box. You know, you get your standard gun lock, thread protector, a little bit of oil, and an instruction book. But really, this here is the whole ball of wax. It is a little bit heavier, but I wanted to upgrade that barrel. I think it's an upgrade to have that heavier barrel. It's a more stable platform when I'm laid down on the thing, and it won't heat up quite so quickly when I'm at the range, because when I'm at the range, I do like to shoot. Browning X-Bolt Mountain Pro, long range. First thoughts out of the box, should be a shooter, should be a good gun. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have questions, put them down below. I try to answer all of them, and the store is open at shop.valhallaoutfitter.com. We do carry Browning products. If you need product support or suggestions when it comes to picking the appropriate gear that you're going to need to have success on your trips, I'm more than happy to give you some time and help get you into what you need. That's it for now. You guys take care. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.